Hello, 你好, this is Jenny from JenJenChinese.com. In today's video, you are going to learn nasal final, which are an, ang, ong, When you pronounce an and n, which finish with a n sound, you should use the front of your nasal cavity. But when you pronounce ong and ang, which finish with n sound, you should use the back of your nasal cavity. I know it sounds a little bit complicated, but with practice and my help, you'll be fine. I know. The first one is an. You can see there are two letters here. There are a and the n sound. When you pronounce an, you should open your mouth, look like a sound, and then flap a little bit, and then finish with n sound. And then when you pronounce an, try to let air out from your nasal cavity. An. How did you say to be dark in Chinese? Which is an. An with a fourth tone, an. You might thinking, Jenny, where is the initial? Well, in general rule, the Chinese character have initial, final, and a tone. But the final can appear by itself. All you have to do is add a tone mark. For example, how did you say to love, which is I? How did you say to be dark, which is an? All you have is final with a tone mark. But on the other hand, initial cannot appear by itself. He have to have the E sound with the initial to complete the spelling purpose. For example, how did you say number 4, which is 4? How did you say number 7, which is 7? All you have is initial and the E sound and the tone mark. The next one is n. You can see my mouth shape is half open. Just close a little bit and then let the air out through your nasal cavity with the n sound. In English, you can think of taken. How did you say door in Chinese? Which is 门. M is initial, N is nasal final with the second tone, the rising tone, 门. How did you say very much, very, which is 很. H is initial, N is nasal final with the third tone, a bouncing tone, 很. The next one is ang. First, open your mouth wide, like you're saying ah, and then let the air out through the back of your nasal cavity with the ng sound. Ang. In English, you can think of long. Ang. How did you say to be long, which is 长. Ch is initial, ang is nasal final with the second tone. 吃昂长. How did you say to be busy in Chinese, which is 忙. M is initial, ang is nasal final with the second tone. Mang. The next one is ong. Keep your mouth shape flat with a small O, and then let the air out through the back of your nasal cavity with the ong sound. Ong. In English, you can think of mark. Ong. How did you say wind in Chinese, which is 风. F initial, ong nasal final with the first tone. Feng. How did you say to wait? in Chinese, which is 等, 等, the initial on nasal final with the third tone. 的 on 等 the on 等. I know this one is a little bit hard because we don't have similar on in English, but just repeat after me or repeat this video a couple times and you'll be okay. Okay? Are you ready for the last one? I know you are. The last one for today is Put the tip of your tongue toward the hard plate, then release the air out while your tongue was rolling. In English, you can think of rear. Is a very special final. It exists on its own. For example, how did you say number 2 in Chinese? Which is just a with a fourth tone. How did you say ear in Chinese? Which is All you do is change your fourth tone to the third tone. I'm going to teach you a couple very cute phrases with the sound. Is like a sound with a retroflex ending. It's used a lot in North China. For example, how did you say a little bit, which is 一点儿? How did you say to be happy, which is 开心点儿? How did you say eat more, which is 多吃点儿? You hear that, the sound? However, if you remove the sound in the end of each phrases, it's not wrong either. Just that's how the way they talk in North China. Thank you very much. Let me guide you. And you do very, very well. I know this is not an easy class, but just review this video a couple times and practice. I know you will do it very, very well. Okay? See you next time. 加油！再见！